Hi, I'm Lisette Jacobson, host of the Black, Brown, and Bilingue podcast, a part of the Education Podcast Network, just like the show you're listening to now. Shows on the network are individually owned and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other interesting education podcasts at edupodcastnetwork.com.
Thanks for listening to the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast, where each week we talk about a free piece or two of technology that you can use in your classroom. I'm your host, Shannon Martin. I'm a middle school teacher, technology and instructional coach for my district.
And I'm her producer and husband, Fuzz Martin, and I beat you didn't know this is the last episode of the season as we head into summer.
That was cute. Good job.
Alternate was some are not going to believe this, but this is the last episode of the season. Season 5 coming to an end, and
it is.
We're on episode 155.
Correct. So, we always like the numbers to line up. Last summer, we ended on episode 1, 2, 3 of season 4. Mm-hmm. Season 5 is ending with episode 155.
So amazing.
When the stars align.
Numerology, yes.
So, yeah.
If this whole teaching thing doesn't work out.
Right. I can do cool things with numbers.
By the way.
And mathing.
Congratulations on finishing your 19th year teaching.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
I was like sitting there thinking and counting because after a while, they all just kind of run together. And I was like, is it the end of year 18? I'm like, no, wait, let me go back. No, it's the end of year 19. I will be starting my 20th year of teaching next fall.
Yeah, that's a lot of teaching.
It is a lot of teaching. Mm-hmm. And I've been teaching middle school for 19 years.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Amazing.
Middle school. And mostly 8th grade. I've taught a little 6th grade and a little 7th grade, but mostly 8th graders for 19 years.
And through all that, no wrinkles, no gray hair. You look great.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Tell us your secrets, Shanna.
I don't know. Good genetics. My mom.
Agreed.
That and, coffee and a lot of water and
yep.
Other things. So there's that. Snacks, donuts on Fridays, anything. Snacks in the workroom. Mm-hmm.
De-stressors.
Chocolate, whatever gets you through. So yes, we are ending at season 5, episode 155. And at the end of summer, woo! Nope.
Yeah, don't get too far ahead of yourself.
At the end of the school year, I always like to give a few tools that are helpful for summer. I know some teachers are not done yet. They're still pushing till the end of June.
Some are not done yet.
Some are not done yet. Man. Some of you, like parents, I have a lot of parents that will say, hey, what's some stuff my kids can work on this summer? Or how can they stay busy? So today's sites are just to kind of help out with some summer skills practice. And you can recommend them to parents. Kids can work individually on them, or if you have summer school and you have activities to work on. So that's just what we're kind of helping out with today. So a couple of different sites that would be helpful and one app that I found that's kind of cool. And yeah, so we're there. So let's talk about some skills practice. So the first skill that we are going to talk about, the first website we're going to talk about, it is called kidstype.com. And it's a typing website. And why I think I recommend typing over the summer is a lot of kids oftentimes will be on tablets and stuff during the summer. And those typing skills are always needed to be worked on. Yeah. Especially with younger students now. They're very good on computers, but don't necessarily know their typing skills. Mm-hmm. And for all of our favorite thing of standardized testing, they have to type. So if that's always interesting that kids aren't necessarily always assessed on their abilities because sometimes it's the typing that gets in the way.
Oh,
so
sure.
This is a fun way for kids to practice typing throughout the school year and throughout the summer. And it's Kids Type. So KIDZTYPE.com. So Kids Type. And there's all kinds of fun typing games and keyboarding games, and they're super engaging. So if you can click across the top, they have the usual, they have lessons. So you can have formal typing lessons, to make sure home rows, top row, the usual bottom row, space keys, number row. So teaching basic skills practice of typing. And now you're going to start typing, aren't you? I can hear you. It's like the loudest clicking ever.
Yeah, coming through the wrong speaker. Yeah.
Click. So anyway, so skills type like JF and space keys. So it'll load in the game and it like teaches you just normal typing skills, which is great. So it walks you through the lesson, shows you what you need to do. Then they have exercises. So typing exercises built in. They have practice. They have the finger chart that is super important for our young kids that don't know where things are supposed to go. And it's a great way, like just teaching you step by step what that needs to look like. I love that they have a little map and like each finger has a color. So pinkies are blue and ring fingers are yellow. And then on the keyboard, it shows you what color should be where. So where your fingers should actually be. Mm-hmm. So we're not hunting and pecking things. There's typing tests, but of course there's games. And the games are fun. They have Flappy typing, which is like a version of Flappy Bird for typing skills. And so you can choose your bird because there are several options. And once you choose your bird, then you can choose easy, medium, hard, or insane as your typing level. And they're super engaging. It's just going to tell you, and it just like RIP, SIT. And so you get to be a little bird cruising through the ocean or whichever bird you choose. And like I just fell in the ocean and game over. My speed was horrible. My accuracy was horrible, but it gives you exactly how many correct you are and the usual like information for typing. So it's really engaging and kids can have fun with it and learn some skills and just keep working on those typing skills because a whole keyboard is different in their hands from elementary even to middle. I still have kids, this typing skills thing doesn't always get into the regular curriculum. So it's a great way for kids to practice their typing while playing a game in the summer. And it's great to have parents. They can just go right to the website and there's not a sign in or anything like that. They can just jump in and start practicing typing. So kidstype.com. And what are you playing right now?
There's a little Thor looking guy and I'm just typing along, getting to the end.
Are you playing Insane?
No, I just level 3.
Oh, is it Whack-A-Mole?
No, it's like
Ninja, Boat Rush, Jungle Racing, by the way. These are the games. Vampire Hunter, Ninja versus Zombies, Typing Car Rider, Keyboard Booster, Typing Knights, Cute Jumper.
At 98% accuracy.
Nitro Racer, Typing Pilot, Keyboard Boosters.
I will say
Typing
this.
Rocket.
I will say this.
Glider Cats.
Be careful. There are ads on the site.
There are ads, yep.
And they're all appropriate ads, but when you click to start a level, it does a pop over. And sometimes you get these misleading things that like have a start that's flashing, but it's really just an ad. So
yes. So just be aware that there is like a thing. But it's not, like the ads look fairly like school appropriate.
Yeah.
General supervision or older students or show them how to do it. But yes. So so a little practicing, some typing games, some practices, some lessons, kidstype.com. Give your kids a little summer refresher as you're going along and be totally engaged in a game. And you look like you have a question on your face.
Yeah, no, I didn't do well with Flappy Bird, but there was a capital letter, so I didn't realize that. Oh. It's okay. I'll learn. I'll take some typing lessons over the summer. Do they actually do schools have keyboarding classes?
It depends on the school and the district and all those things. So some schools have computer class where they're still learning computing schools. Some at the schools have computers class that's built in to classes. So it kind of just depends.
Okay. I remember long days.
Oh, I know. I mean, you're really old. So.
Remember my teacher very well because her name was Mrs. Raisin, and it always felt like a cartoon name to me.
Gotcha.
And she was super sweet and all that. But
Did you spend a lot of time in the sun?
Grape joke.
We're doing really good today. All right. So, besides working on typing skills, spelling is another one that is practiced over the summer or needs to be practiced over the summer oftentimes. So a spelling site that is helpful. There's a lot out there like Spelling City and things like that we've talked about before, but home spelling words like HOMESPELLING words.com.
WIRDS. Oh no, it's WORDS.
WORDS.
I just lost a life.
Dang. Is a fun way. They have a bunch of spelling games that you can play. And we've talked a little bit about like Spelling City and stuff before to use in your classroom.
Yep.
This would be great for just spelling practice at home with their like pre-made lists and things like that. So what you can do is you'll see home, and then they have a list of all these like spelling tests and spelling practice and spelling worksheets and kindergarten spelling and 1st through 9th grade spelling. They have so many spelling things to practice spelling. spelling.
Good work.
And so what's cool about this is there's just a lot of options. So when you're looking at it, if you're looking for like printable things, so I know some families, when they're at home, they want to be able to print things because the kids aren't on the computer all of the time, and they want to be able to have access to stuff for, summer practice. They have all kinds of spelling worksheets. So if you click on spelling worksheets, they have them through kindergarten, 1st grade. They have a little bit older, all the way through 2nd. They have different spelling worksheets. They also have like noun worksheets for kindergarten. So there's a lot of practice for younger students for printables. And those you can just print for free, and you have access to them, and kids can, they're like PDFs. So you can go ahead and print all kinds of basic spelling practice if you're looking for that. And then they also have grade-based spelling. So 1st through 9th grade. And if you choose, like I just picked 7th grade, you can look at their lists to see like what words are available to practice. And then there's a collection of games. There's like 12 different games that you can play. When you go to the games, you'll notice that you can choose from a list. So say like 1st through, like I'm in 7th grade right now. There's like list 30. There's a lot of spelling lists. Be aware that if you go to click too far down the list, then they're going to ask you to like pay. So subscribe and pay. So if you're looking for some of the earlier on lists, like you can go like 7th grade spelling and just click on the game, then you can go ahead and just play the spelling game. So if you swap out the lists, then you aren't able to necessarily play the games unless you pay for it, which you're more than welcome to do, but usually I highlight the free things on websites. So
if you click, just scroll down, because it's going to try to get you to subscribe. If you scroll down, like spelling list 30 here in 7th grade, it shows up lower on the page, but it tries to make it look like you need to subscribe.
Right. So just be aware that you can get to stuff, just you don't have to subscribe if you just look for what you need. Just keep scrolling down the page, and then you'll find what you need. You also are able just to click on the game directly. So let's say I'm in 1st grade. I want to do the word scramble, SCRAMBLE. You can, instead of just subscribe to home, you can, or you just click play on the game, and then you can go ahead and
play the chicken game.
In the chicken game, I'm going to spell sleep. So there's just different things that you can do. So there's a lot of activities here to practice some spelling, and then those printables that are great. And it's just helpful. Like if you've got some kids in a few minutes that they want to practice spelling every day, and then you're not just doing regular flashcards all the time. It's a way for kids to practice spelling and play some activities and games, things like that. You do need to make sure that you've got their volume all the way up, because it will say the word out loud for them to type. So for a lot of the games or different activities. So volume, headphones are great if you don't want to listen to words being read out, or you can go ahead and listen to the words being read out loud. It's absolutely up to you, but home spelling words is a helpful activity to practice those kids with spelling. So we have some typing help, some spelling help. Last summer, we're going to go back to episode 123. If you're interested in some math practice, I highlighted a bunch of different math activities in that episode. That would be helpful if you're looking for some math practice over the summer. And also way back in episode 50, I talked about IXL, which is also an awesome website that is free and a great way to practice math over the summer too. So there's just different things I've highlighted in my last summer episodes for math. But spelling, typing, definitely those practice skills that students need over the summer. So those are all the websites, but there's an app that I found that I just have to talk about because I think it's fun. It's an app, and it needs to be probably on your phone.
Yeah. And
not a tablet, because it's a phone.
Yep.
And it's definitely like upper middle school, high school, or you as an educator, because it's fun, but also it's AI driven. And so this is one that it could be fun to play around with, but also they even warn you at the beginning of the app, like the accuracy of this isn't necessarily going to be from these dead people. So it's called Hello History. If you want to look it up, it's just hellohistory.ai, but you'll find it on any app store.
Yep.
And you can chat with anyone from the past. So this morning I had a conversation with Maya Angelou and she gave very inspirational information for women. And I think it's kind of cool. I'll put mine in the blog so you guys can see my chat with Maya Angelou, which is pretty cute. And so basically you can chat with anyone from the past. It's an AI driven app and you can have lifelike conversations with historical figures. And what a fun way. I don't know, to me, it's just, it's fun to play around with. You definitely have to like, just take it with a grain of salt. Like there's real information there and it will say like pulled from, it'll tell you what websites they're pulling the information from, but also it's just, pulling information from things online and then having a conversation. So it's fun to play around with. I will tell you that you get 20 chats for free. That's like 20 chat boxes. So you're aware. So like my chat with Maya Angelou used up my first 5 and everything. It's amazing. Like just, I talked about, you've inspired women. What is some advice? And my dear, to inspire women is a great honor. But let me tell you this, inspiration comes from within. You must have the courage to listen to your own voice and follow it wherever it leads you. Don't be afraid to take risks and make mistakes, for they are a part of your journey towards discovering your true self.
Oh.
Thank you, Maya Angelou.
Yeah. It's like she was... How'd you get her number?
Oh my gosh. I totally had a chat with her today. So, and like from Abraham Lincoln to, they have them categorized too. So you can do, it's like famous, like popular, art, entrepreneurship, business. They have all these different categories. So you can then find people from that category and then search like a certain person you want to have a conversation with.
Saw Elvis.
Yeah. Like just all kinds of, it's great. So you got like Martin Luther King in there. You got Gandhi. You've got Einstein. It's just Marilyn Monroe. There's
Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah, it's just so, it's fun. So if you've got some older kids that want to play around with this again, or yourself, it's worth finding some fun information. To me, almost the list alone, exposing kids to these people that they may never have seen or heard of before is kind of cool. Like you can have a chat with Shakespeare and you could do it so that the whole class could see what you're chatting with them. Yeah. Or, you could pre-record it, or you could just, again, older kids, younger kids, you get your first 20 for free. And then they also have like an education piece too. So like Napoleon, you can, like, if you go on the website, you can see hellohistory.ai, but for education, like transform students learning with our program for educators, with our AI models, you have control over the content and factual information. So like they do have a specific portion that you can contact them specifically for education purposes if you want to. And they kind of do an experiment with, or example with Napoleon Bonaparte here. And so you kind of can ask Napoleon about the French Revolution, and then he will give you information about it. So they also have an education piece, which I appreciate that's also acknowledged in this. So
yeah, and they do have, so they have if you contact them, they can give you a free trial coupon so that your whole class can use it.
Yeah.
Kind of neat. And I don't know, I don't know what the hook is after that. But
yeah, like what it is, but it would be fun to play around with at least over the summer, and you kind of see what every morning you can get like some fantastic advice from a person who
it's a super neat idea.
I think it's great.
And the evolution of AI and like tools that can be used, I think this is really one of those that's being used for good.
Yeah, like a cool way to use AI. So
exactly.
Anyway, that is Hello History, and it's an app, like I said, and you can play around with it and see maybe how you could use it in your classroom, or just like, it's kind of fun to see what it comes up with, which, you got time in the summer, go ahead and do so.
Yeah.
So that's Summer Skills Practice, episode 155. The summer we'll probably check in like we usually do, but we take our little break here in the summer and, I don't know, do some more work.
Yeah. Yes. And
work at a different rate. But
you start your school year a little earlier this year too. So
I will. We'll be starting the very end of August.
Yeah. So does that mean we're starting the season? Do we normally start in August?
We usually start the week before school starts.
Yeah. So about August we'll have a check-in, and then we'll start again around the end of August, early September is somewhere around there.
Correct.
So just follow the show in your favorite podcast player, and then when a new episode comes out,
Yep.
You should get a notification.
You'll see one probably in July, and then we'll start again. Yeah.
Yeah, with season 6.
Season 6. That's so crazy.
Yeah. After our humble beginnings and at the kitchen counter, and now we're sitting in the basement.
Right. Well, sometimes we go to the studio. Hey, last week we were outside.
Yeah,
we just take the show on the road.
Exactly. We can.
We'll take it on vacation with us this summer. Right. So anyway, I hope everyone enjoys their summer, though. And even if you're not quite done yet, hold on. You're almost done. And take some time for yourself. Thanks for tuning in. This has been the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast. If you ever have any questions, you can find me on Twitter @SmartNWI. And if you want to get more information on the links to the technology discussed in this episode, you can visit smartandwi.com. If you'd like to support the show, please consider buying me a coffee or two. Visit buymeacoffee.com/smartandwi or visit smartandwi.com and click on that cute little purple coffee cup. Your donations help keep this show going. New episodes starting in the fall. Thanks for listening. Go educate and innovate.
The ideas and opinions expressed on this podcast and the Smart NWI website are those of the author, Shannon Martin, and not of her employer. Prior to using any of the technologies discussed on this podcast, please consult with your employer regulations. This podcast offers no guarantee that these tools will work for you as described, but we sure hope they do. And we hope you have a great summer. Thanks for listening.